Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries. This is Book 6, Chapter 59, Set in Stone. And in just a few moments, if you weren't here last week, you will find out exactly why this episode is entitled Set in Stone. First, a couple of quick announcements. One is, of course, the domain tomes. If you look above where Togo normally would be, again, you'll find out why M is not here tonight. Though M is in chat, and M is
significant,
responsible for 7 of the domain tomes that you are about to get. So let's see. You have 9, so I need to get you bumped up to 16 domain tomes. So let me do that real quick, because Lord knows you'll let me know if they're not there. Boom, boom, boom. So there we go. You're all set with some fresh new domain tomes that may or may not be necessary tonight. I guess we'll find out. Couple of quick announcements. Part 2 of our 2-part premiere of our brand new Descent into Avernus Road Warriors of Hell D&D campaign is tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, run by our amazing Dungeon Master Vi, with some incredible players that includes myself and Dwight. After tomorrow's game, we will play again on October 4th, and that is every other Tuesday. If you missed it, the premiere last week, you can check it out on youtube.com/miniterraindomain, where you can also check out last week's premiere episode of Cari's debut as a game master or keeper in the darkness outside of Broken Branch, our Mythos Investigators Call of Cthulhu Western game that we played last week and got off to a wonderful start. It was awesome. Gary, there is something coming up this weekend that you want to tell us about, yeah?
Yes, so this Saturday on fortnerd.com, we will be hosting a Quest for the Cure charity one-shot featuring some of the faces you're familiar with from Dreadful Tales in a one-shot entitled Strahd Sucks, A Very Barovian Vacation. If that title intrigues you, and it should, please do join us. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, and it'll go until about 7:30. We are trying to raise $1,000 for Duchenne muscular dystrophy research, and if we do that, I will wax this mustache off live on stream again. So it's 4 pulls, and Allie will do it. And I tell you, it's delightful. People love it. So
will you do it right this time?
Can we do it right? What do you mean? Can we do it right this time?
Well, didn't you have a whole bunch of trouble with it the last time you tried it?
I mean,
I know it was painful, but it didn't look good on stream. It didn't. You're actually pulling your hair off on stream.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I mean, there was a lot of hair pulled on stream, so
you know what? They're not going to rent out the IMAX camera, Dwight.
Maybe what we're gonna do is we're gonna show the because I can't help it that I have such a thick and lustrous mustache, Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck,
that's true. Yeah.
So that's what happens if we hit $1,000. And I know you want to see that. So 4:00, there'll be more information on our Twitch or on our Twitter, and I'm sure these fine folks will retweet it. But please do consider coming out.
And I will be sure to put some very tantalizing incentives for that game.
Ooh, yes.
That will make you want to donate to influence the game, and also influence the on-screen waxing of Gary's mustache.
Can we wax your mustache?
Oh,
I'm sorry, what? No.
So can we wax your mustache? How about your beard?
I'm not an idiot. I like my mustache right where it is. Thank you.
My God.
So just to clarify, does that mean I'm an idiot?
More, I guess more what I meant
It's
in
for
the sense,
charity.
not calling you an idiot that you're an idiot, but that you're a glutton for punishment.
I mean, I would call myself a goddamn hero, but yeah, sure, an idiot works too, I guess.
Listen, boys. I'm very proud of you all. You're all such philanthropists. We should maybe do some stuff today.
Boo.
This is Cari going, let's get on with it. I've got stuff to do and people to save, and
this ain't even my whole night.
We have plot hooks to avoid. Leave us alone.
Right? So, all right, well, with that, I guess I'm gonna tell you one more thing, and then we're gonna get into this game. Just a reminder, as we always like to mention before every game, is that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference, whether or not you believe that it is true. For whatever reason, you could be struggling, and that's okay. It's okay to not be okay, but you do not need to struggle alone. At any time, if you find yourself in need of some kind of help, you can come to our chat and you can type !help, which will bring up some URLs, including findahelpline.com, or you can check out takethis.org's list of resources. I encourage you to go to those websites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. With that, I think it's time to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
When last we left off, these fine adventurers were just getting into the Temple of the Restful Lily, looking for their friend, Little One. And they eventually found that Little One had undergone here at the temple some sort of treatment that had allowed him to change his appearance from that of an ogre to that of a Goliath by the name going by the name Von Reed. A few other things seem to be slightly amiss, including a Harper agent pretending to be a masseuse who was killed by a shadow assassin, at which time, or rather after which, the proprietors of the Temple of the Restful Lily realized that the three of you were very capable. The three of you. The group of you, the three of them. I'm looking ahead too to what's going on and getting distracted. You all are very capable adventurers, and they asked you to please deal with a mysterious threat in the old shrine, the old temple of Sune, to which some of you more so than others, very eagerly agreed to do so. You found a way up onto the roof, lowered yourself down into the shrine, where you found broken mirrors everywhere. You made your way down some stairs where Doc's eagle eyes located and disarmed every single trap, including a guillotine trap made from the remnants of a large piece of mirror. While investigating this area around a pool of water, Doc had set the mirror down near the stairs. An arrow flew out of the darkness above the water, shattering the mirror as a woman descended on a pillar of water from the pool. And all hell broke loose. Statues came to life. You all started fighting the water. You started fighting this Medusa. And it was getting bad. During the fight, Togo was petrified by the Medusa. Mizya was petrified by one of the stone-cursed statues that animated and began attacking. And Vorn was assaulted by the water, and was also assaulted by the Medusa and the statues. And even his half-orc endurance couldn't keep him on his feet. And that is why we are going to use our brand new death save tracker.
Oh, God.
As we kick off this with, when we left off, Teera, you had rushed in at the Medusa with your greatsword and slashed open her chest. And as she fell back in the water, which held her aloft for a moment, she looked towards you, though her eyes had already rolled back into her head, and she said, "Thank you." You still have 2 more attacks.
Sure as
Or
shit
1 more
do.
attack and a frenzy attack if you choose to use it. It is your turn as we pick back up in this initiative order.
Okay.
Vorn also has been engulfed by the animated water. Though his body still is outside of the pool area, the water had started to lift his body up.
Okay. So, and he is engaged with 2 of these sentient statues, yes?
Yes, 2 of the
One is-
statues had, they're actually responsible for taking him down.
Correct. Okay. I am gonna attack one of those statues, please.
Okay.
Here I go. That's a 15 to hit the statue.
You swing around, blood from the Medusa still on your blade, slamming it into one of the stone cursed statues, and there's a shower of sparks and a metal on stone sound as it defensively puts its arm up, and it barely leaves a mark in the stone. That is a fail.
Okay. Then I'm gonna frenzy attack, and I'm going to, can I attack the water? He's being like held aloft, right? With this, is the water something I can like hit?
You can certainly try.
Yeah, I guess I will.
You've seen it do enough stuff that it seems to be an entity unto itself.
Okay. But when we got attacked by water that other one time, a long time ago. All right, here I go. Ooh, that's a 25 to hit the water.
That is a hit.
Sick. Also, my blade is icy, magic-y stuff. So here I go. That is 11 points of normal damage plus an additional 2 points of cold damage.
So you turn your attention. Where are you attacking the water?
So also I'll say as a free action, Teera is trying to make a lot of noise. She's essentially trying to draw the attention away from the unconscious Vorn, and she is, if this thing is like holding him, if it's like a pillar of water, essentially, she would just want to slash right through the middle of it, essentially.
So yeah, basically it's like it had reached out of the water and sort of engulfed Vorn, just started to lift him. So Vorn's basically arms back, kind of being lifted up, and you just slash into the water below, below Vorn, and you see as you do so for a moment, Vorn's body sort of dips a little bit. You've successfully, and you know that you did something to this water.
Okay. And Teera is just like screaming like, "Come on!" Like just trying to get these statues away from him.
So it is the Stone Cursed's turn. Doc, remind me where you went.
I mean, I'm like I moved far away from them.
That's right, because you were basically dodging them, so you knew you were trying to stay outside of their range.
Yeah.
Okay, so this first Stone Cursed is the one that you attacked, Teera, and it is going to attack back at you. As it looks away from Vorn's body suspended in the water, it turns towards you, Teera. And with that same arm that you hit, it slashes out. And that is going to be... That is a natural 20 to hit you.
Yep.
That is 16, 17, 18, 19... 19 plus... That's 25 points of slashing damage. So reduced to 13 because you're raging.
Correct.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 9.
You feel as this thing slashes into your shoulder where you had turned away to attack the water. It reaches out, slashing deep into your shoulder. And as it does so, you see the blood, but you also see almost like there's this grayish sludge that is excreting from its claws and mixing with your blood. And you already can feel your shoulder beginning to tighten up and your arm beginning to tighten up. You are restrained, and you feel yourself beginning to turn to stone.
Okay.
So restrained, your speed is now 0.
Okay.
Attacks against you have advantage, and your attacks are at disadvantage, and you will automatically fail any dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
So that was the first of the 3 statues. The second statue. Ricky. Actually, Dwight, since you're essentially out of this right now, roll me a D100. And I'm going to roll a D100. We are determining if this statue is going to attack Vorn's unconscious body, or if it's going to attack Teera. What did you roll, Dwight?
What's the percentage?
So so there is a 50% chance. So if your number falls anywhere within 25 on either side, what'd you roll?
41.
I rolled a 41. I am not kidding you.
What does that mean?
That means that
Text both.
it's attacking.
Shut up, Dwight!
Part of me wants to say, yeah, there should be a consequence for.
I think the consequence is that we get a tome or something.
So,
no, it's the bad result.
It's the bad result, which is it's going to attack Vorn. This means if I hit is where, or it hits is where the bigger problem potentially is.
It's an auto hit, right?
No, it's an auto crit if it's a hit. It still has to beat your armor class.
Oh, I should have got better armor.
And you have good armor.
I have to check something.
What is the armor class for the fancy royal stuff higher than 14, Jake?
Oh.
Say that again?
Because I still am rolling with my original armor set from when I first started playing the game. Should I have increased my armor because of the armor set?
Because the fancy armor you got was just fancy leather armor. It still had the same dex bonus. What is your armor class?
It's a 91.
What is your real armor class?
It's 14.
Okay. So, the one other thing I need to check. So it does get advantage while attacking you. As just because you're unconscious. I'm checking because No, you're just pulled in. Okay. So this is going to be a roll at advantage. I'm going to roll in D&D Beyond. Dice have been thrown. At advantage, that is an 18 to hit. So you watch as the statue next to the one that you didn't go for, Teera, you see it step forward and plunge its claws into the water and reach, and its fingers just pierce into Vorn's unconscious body. Vorn, because that is an automatic critical hit, you have two failed death saves.
Oh, God.
The third statue is currently being kited around the room by Doc as it trudges in the direction of Doc, but is unable to close the distance.
Oh, geez.
The Medusa is dead. Togo is a statue frozen in time in the act of having just thrown a javelin. Mizya is frozen in stone as well. Which brings us to Vorn.
Oh, my God.
Oh my
Vorn.
god.
Ricky, come on.
You
only got one
need to roll 1d20. You do not add anything to the roll. If you get a 10 or higher, that is a success. If you get a 9 or lower, you fail and Vorn dies.
Let's go.
Use a tome,
All right.
use a tome, use a tome, use a
Yeah, we're gonna use a tome here.
You can
Okay.
use a tome to roll your death save with advantage. So, burn that one. Whoops,
How do I
that's
add
one.
the extra die to it again?
Right click.
Right click.
Yep.
Old man still using D&D Beyond.
Right? Or do you want me to roll natural dice? I
It's,
can roll natural
it is
dice.
your choice.
Either one.
I
Oh, Ricky, it is so. Oh my God.
I've never watched the Beyond game log as intently as I am right now.
Ha. All right, so when I right click, it just gives me like the option to save as or print.
No, are you
No,
right?
you
You gotta
should
right
be-
click on the dice on your D20.
you should be
I am gonna pee my pants.
you should
Figure
be
it out.
you should be going to where your death saves are. There should be, I believe, an option to roll a die there.
Oh.
Everything is not working out, so I'm just gonna roll natural die.
Right, boy. That's
Can I
the
get a
better
one
way anyway.
Mississippi?
Come on.
Let me grab
come
one.
on. Oh, jeez.
Ricky's dragging this out.
While Ricky is grabbing his dice, please check us out on spring.com. Just search Mini Terrain Domain. You can get all kinds of apparel like this, including stickers, t-shirts, and more. Spring.com. Just search Mini Terrain Domain.
Do you want me to put the camera on my hand roll as I throw the dice onto the table?
No.
I do not require that. I trust you.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it for edit effect.
Do it for the drama.
I'm gonna do it for the gram.
See it. It's good. Oh, jeez.
You have to roll 2d20 at the same time, though. None of this re-roll shit.
Isn't
Yeah,
this
no problem.
isn't this literally like the second time Ricky's ever rolled real dice in this game?
I did it
I
on my
am gonna
personal
cry.
campaign. All right, you guys ready? Can you see this tray?
Yes, it's
It's
green.
higher.
It's very blurry.
higher.
Yeah,
All right, okay, doesn't matter. Here we go.
it doesn't matter.
Roll the
What is that number?
Okay, one is a 5.
It's like the Blair Witch Project.
What is
and
the other one?
is it's an 18.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh my God.
Vorn has 2 fails and 1 success.
Yay. Okay. Oh,
Doc.
save. Help me.
Doc is going to sigh deeply. And he's going to say, how did these people get along before they met me? So Doc is going to continue dodging this thing. He's got more movement than it, so he's just going to be keeping the distance. He's going to be within 60 feet of he's going to be within 60 feet of Vorn. He's going to cast Healing Word on Vorn. And Vorn will get 12 HP back.
Nice.
And Doc will take the dodge action.
So, Vorn has how many HP?
12.
So, Vorn, you are no longer in death saving throws.
Oh my
Oh.
God, Ricky!
You
Yeah,
are now
quick.
conscious, and you are now drowning
Well,
because
Okay.
because you just came
Yay.
to, engulfed by this water elemental. Because you were unconscious, the number of minutes that you can hold your breath, you can't hold your breath while you're unconscious. You have 2 full rounds before you drown and start making death saves again. Unless you can get out of this water. Anything else, Doc?
No.
It is now the water's turn. You all watch, you see Doc's magic cause Vorn's body to convulse, and you see Vorn in this shroud of water, his eyes open, and then you see as his previously limp body suddenly goes as the water pulls it down 10 feet to the bottom of this, or I think we said it was 5 feet.
5 feet.
Oh,
5 feet deep.
Pulls
10
it
feet
down
across.
5 feet to the bottom and is holding Vorn at the bottom of the pool. Vorn. Nope, you were already grappled by it, so yeah, you are pulled down. Teera.
does.
Yeah.
What's that, Ricky?
Nope. Keep going.
Oh,
You're fine.
no, never mind. Teera, it is your turn again.
Okay. What? What can I do to not turn into a Teera statue? Do I make a save? What do I?
You will make a save.
After I do what I'm gonna do? Is that the deal?
At the end of your turn.
Okay. So my move is 0, but I can still attack, right? Like
You
I have
can
a move
attack.
thing?
You're
Okay.
right next to the water. You can attack, but your attacks are at disadvantage.
Right. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna use a tome.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a tome
To do
because to attack with advantage.
But
I know what you just wrote. I know, but I'm already at disadvantage.
Right.
If they attack me. So is it super disadvantage if I attack
No,
recklessly?
There's no
no
such
effect.
thing as super
It doesn't stack.
disadvantage.
I just was making sure there was no additional
Yeah.
penalty. Then I'm going to attack recklessly.
Okay.
And I am going to attack I'll attack the statue. I'll attack the statue again.
Which one?
The one that attacked me. The one
Okay.
that hit me. That's a 19 to hit.
This time you bring your sword around more determined, and you feel the blade sink into the stone.
Okay, good. All right, so that is going to be 10 points of normal damage and an additional 1 point of cold damage.
You take a big chunk of stone out of this thing. You don't knock it down yet, but you've done significant damage to it.
Okay.
That was your first attack.
Yep, and then I'm going to attack it again. Can I do all my attacks come off straight now? As because I'm
Yes.
attacking right all of them? Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Gary. Your real name is Gary in real life, and I appreciate you. Here we go. That is a nat 20, boys.
Fantastic.
Okay. So we do just max damage on one, right? And then what is, so I just do like as though I rolled max damage and then I roll again, correct?
Correct. Yeah, whatever damage dice.
Yep.
So that includes your
My
your
cold
sword
damage?
and your cold damage and your modifier maxed.
Wow. Okay.
Then
sick.
you roll both damage dice again and add to that.
Okay, so that's 16 and then 6 of cold, and then I'm gonna roll it again. Here I go. All right. So that is 8. So it is 24 points of normal damage total, and 9 points of cold damage total.
What does it look like when you destroy this statue?
Oh my god. So Teera like is like feels herself like turning and is kind of afraid, frankly, but she sees Vorn like lurch and is kind of aware that like it's now or never, and she just has been like hitting this thing and then kind of almost with a backhand like comes up and just hits this thing right under the chin, and I imagine takes the head of this statue right off, where it flies like a cannonball and splashes into the pool.
As it hits the pool water, the statue's head cracks, and you see the pieces, about 3 or 4 pieces of stone skull head that fall to the side, and out of the head emerges an obsidian skull that sinks straight to the bottom of the pool.
Wow. Okay.
You have one more frenzied attack.
Yeah. So is there one more statue or
There's two more, but there's one that's an immediate threat to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack that one. Here I go. 12.
You put all you had into that last strike, and you can barely get your sword around towards this other one, and you just completely whiff it in the air as the statue seems to pull back away from it. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it with advantage using a tome.
All right.
Oh my god. Come on. 17.
17. So you feel your shoulder as you're swinging against the statue and destroying it. You feel your muscles tight as your arm. You can see the skin actually turning granite gray as you swing around, and your stiff arm causes you to miss on this statue. You feel like you can't move any further, and then suddenly and the surface of your skin, like dried mud that's caked on, stone flakes away as you resist the petrification.
Thanks for the tome, Em. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. And that is my turn.
It is now the Stone Curse turn.
Hmm.
It is engaged with you, so it is going to make its attack. You are no longer restrained, so it is not at advantage.
Right.
It's a straight attack.
Correct.
It is an
Yeah.
advantage.
Oh wait, yeah, sorry, because of your reckless attacks and your frenzy.
Ah, yes. That was the
So
price I
that was
paid.
an 18 to hit. But I'm going to roll it one more time just
to make
to
sure
see if
it's
it
not-
crits. That's
Don't
only a
pull
10.
that. You're never gonna believe this shit. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I'm rolling digitally, so you can see the game log.
I don't like to look. Surprise.
So this one does hit you, Teera.
Yes.
You are going to take 17 points of slashing damage, reduced
Yeah.
to 9. And I need you to make that con save again.
I'm gonna do it with advantage again. Another tome, please. You guys are all
That's
fucking
what
calling
they
them
do.
carries
another
anyway.
carry, right?
You guys are all calling them fucking carries anyway. I might as well just embrace it. Here we go. That's gonna be an 18 to save.
You resist.
Good. Okay. Great.
The third stone cursed, they do not have a lot of intelligence, but I'm going to have it make an insight check.
Man.
7. It's continuing to be kited around by Doc. It's not even a challenge. Wherever Doc goes, this thing moves a third of the distance towards him, just following around. Medusa's down. Togo, Mizya. Vorn, you are now conscious. You are engulfed in water that is physically holding you at the bottom of the pool. What would you like to do?
What is the check I need to swim to the surface or break the hold?
You need to break the grapple, so you would need to make a opposed athletics or acrobatics check.
No problem. Opposed athletics check.
Yep.
Use a tome.
You're going to do so with a tome?
No, I
Yes.
think I can
No.
get it.
Just use a tome, Ricky.
Ricky.
I'm having a hard time getting it to work, but okay. If I can roll
Ricky.
2 die and inside the gate.
Real life is fine.
All right, so that's going to be I got plus 10 strength, so it's going to be 25 on the athletics check.
Mm-hmm.
You got a plus what strength?
Plus
to
10.
your athletics.
Yeah.
How do you have a plus 10 to your athletics?
Or I can use my strength to plus 7. I can throw that too, whatever you like, doesn't matter.
Oh, that's how you have it. Wait. Whoa. Why is your strength so high?
Because I'm an orc.
What is your strength score?
18,
So that's a plus 4.
right? But then if I'm doing so is this an athletics check or just a pure strength check?
It's athletics. I'm just trying to figure out what's giving you an additional plus 6 to your athletics.
I think it's because I pull like the
Plus
fighter
4,
and I
plus
use that speed or
7.
whatever.
I mean, I guess the stuff's all
I have a plus 7 to
auto-calculated.
athletics, so he could have like a feat.
He's
guess
got he's doubling his proficiency bonus. You can see that's what the extra circle is. I don't know where that's coming from, but he's got expertise in athletics.
It might be... Yeah. Yep. It's because
If
he
we need
has
to
the
be-
skill expert.
If we need to
There we go.
rework the sheet later, we can rework the
No,
character.
you're good.
You got it, man.
The mathematics sounded off, but it's because I wasn't aware of your skill expert feat, or rather had forgotten about that.
So, proud
So
of
you
Ricky.
are 100%. I didn't doubt you at all in your rolls. I just wanted to double check an extraordinarily large number. Okay, yeah. I mean, I can roll this, but it's not. There's no way I can beat that. So you use one of your attacks to basically break free of this water, and those of you that are conscious, you see Vorn suddenly burst to the surface of the water, taking in a big gasp of air. Vorn, you still have one attack left.
Yeah,
Oh
and I
my
burst through the water like Little Mermaid. I just come out like.
Up where they walk.
Let's see. Bursting through the water. I gotta first look around to see who's closest to me. Well, wait a minute. And
You're
the water
still-
elemental.
You
Go.
burst out of the surface of the water, but you're still in the pool.
The water.
Unless
In
you
the pool.
swim to the edge and climb out.
Okay. All right.
Get out. I'd say get
I want
out.
to. God, I want to fight this
Do
water
what you want to
elemental.
do. I'm
Because
not
I can
gonna take
grapple
it.
it, but I can't grapple it to death because it's water.
You can attack it.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Vorn is going to reach out.
Take a deep breath.
Exactly. Take a deep breath. Reach out his hand, and the sword's going to appear in his hand, and he unsheathes it and dives back in down towards the water elemental.
Wow.
And
Damn.
go. Does a 24 hit?
Oh,
24 certainly does.
attaboy. Attaboy. Let's go. There's hope for the first time. Yeah. Kill it. Kill it.
All right.
I'd say kill it with fire, but
Yeah, I can't. Let's see.
if Pokemon has taught me anything, that would not be very effective.
Okay, here we go. For damage. 11 points of damage.
Did you roll the extra d6 for its keen edge?
That's going to be 17. 16 altogether.
All right. Okay, so yeah, you bring your sword down into the water, and you can feel, because you're in this water, you feel that it has this degree of viscosity to it, that it's thicker than normal water. You feel it sort of gripping, and it's all, I would say, almost like a glycerin in water. There's a thickness to it, and you feel your blade cut into that. Is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
Can't you heal as a bonus action, Ricky?
Yes, you can. You have a feature called Second Wind that allows you to regain 1d10 plus 6 HP once per short rest.
Oh, okay. 1d10 plus. Let's roll that d10.
You also... Oh my gosh, this D&D Beyond pisses me off sometimes.
So
There you go.
so the d10's a 7. Then I get a plus 6. You said
1d10 plus 6 recovered,
So
yes.
13.
Attaboy. Oh my god.
Thank you, Gary. I had no idea you even had that ability.
Gary did his homework tonight. Thank you, Gary.
All right. So
That's what heroes do.
So you got another 13 hit points?
Yeah.
Nice.
Fighting chance.
I say so. Doc.
Okay. So there's 2 stone guys and the water elemental.
Correct.
As a bonus action, Doc is going to ram his ball into the stone guy.
I forgot Doc's ball is still in play.
Which
His
one?
magic
The
ball.
one that you're kiting around, or the other one?
Oh yeah, the one I'm kiting around. Sure,
So is that an attack or a dex save? I
that's a
forget.
dex save of 15.
Right, you should now be able to see my rolls in the game log.
Thank you.
That is a roll of 1.
Okay, great.
A total of 1, I should say.
So all right. I think let me just make sure that I did this. Flaming sphere. Do. It's 2d6, right? Yes. So 5 fire damage. As my action, I'm going to take the dodge action, and I will continue to move away from this stone dude.
Okay.
Somebody has to save his spell slots for the inevitable unconsciousness that's to follow.
You don't know that?
Oh, I know it.
Oh god. There's hope.
The... Whoops, I rolled the wrong thing. I'm on the wrong monster. The water is going to attempt to grab at you again as a big section of water rises up over your head, Vorn, and tries to come slamming down on you. Oh, that's a 7. You get even more wet as the water splashes in front of you. It was an 18, and it very slowly rolled over to a 2.
Oh man, I love that.
So the water fails to get hold of you again. Teera.
Awesome. All right. So, is this one stone statue still within like arm's reach of me?
Yeah, you're still engaged with that one.
Okay. Then I am going to attack. I'm still going to attack recklessly. I'll attack recklessly again. Okay, here I go. That is going to be a 26 to hit the stone statue.
That is indeed a hit.
Okay. That is 14 points of normal damage and 6 points of cold damage.
Okay. Teera, you bring your sword around and you slam the blade. You cut from the shoulder partway down through the stone, just cleaving into it. Mm-hmm. And you feel your blade sort of come to a stop going through the stone. And then there's this sort of surge of frost energy, and everywhere your blade passed through a moment later goes, and the whole top section of the statue shears off, crashing to the floor, disintegrating into rubble. And you see peering up at you from the rubble an obsidian skull. You've destroyed the second statue.
Oh my god.
There's one more statue in play that Doc just put his fireball on. Mm-hmm. And there's the water elemental.
I'm gonna attack the water elemental.
Because you are on the edge of the water, you just need to check. Oops. Go back to the water elemental. Your attack will be at disadvantage because it is indistinguishable in the water from the water itself.
Okay. So because I was attacking recklessly, is that going to be a straight up roll?
Correct.
Okay. So here I go. 11.
You see pretty much what you would expect when you drive your sword across the surface of the water. It cuts easily through, cleans some of the blood off.
Can I make my frenzy attack?
Yep.
Same thing. Here I go. And that's a dirty 20 to hit.
That will hit. This time you feel your blade catch.
Okay. Okay, that's 10 points of normal damage and an additional 4 points of cold.
Oops. Yeah, so as you bring your blade through, you see, for a moment, you see part of this ambiguous, amorphous shape as the frost crystals sort of go through it, and then it shimmers, and then the water kind of melts that frost. But you've definitely struck a pretty significant blow to it.
All right, good. I am done.
All right, the statue is going to move out of the water. This time I'm going to have it do a wisdom check. It gets... Nope. That's a 2. It's still going after. There's this whole time there's just one statue going... Everywhere Dot goes, it's trying to get to you. It moves 10 feet.
It's just walking at a brisk pace around the room.
I keep rolling. If it gets over a 10, it's going to consider a different target, and I keep rolling single digit low. So yeah, it's not able to get to you. Vorn.
All right. Yep. Vorn is going to take another attack into the water elemental.
Get him. End him. End him, Vorn.
Yeah, do my best.
I just see these slow motion of Vorn rising up, bursting through the water, bringing the blade down.
Yeah, and like
Everybody's
disappearing-
wet. And just,
disappearing underneath the water, coming back up. That one was an 11. Imagine that one doesn't hit.
You feel your blade cut easily through the water. You know you missed it.
Okay. Now I get a second attack,
Yep.
correct?
you could like action surge, couldn't he? Does he have that?
I
No.
thought he action
I think he
surged
used it.
I already
last
used
Oh,
it.
never mind.
Yeah,
session.
and that one was a 10, so I didn't hit on that one either.
Vorn is slapping at the water with his sword. Doc,
I will move away from the statue and I will ram it with my magic ball.
all right.
Flaming sphere.
So that is a dex save of a natural 1.
Oh.
Wait, nope, sorry.
Oh.
I'm switching between. That is the wrong. That is a
Melted.
dex save of a -2.
Oh. Melt
Wow.
it back.
6 points of fire.
Doc, roll me a D100.
Sure.
There is a 60% chance of something happening.
85.
It doesn't happen. But you do burn the statue, and you can smell this very sickening odor as this gray matter that's oozing from its fingertips is burning, and all across the surface of the stone is very dark.
Oh my god.
Teera.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Part of the water reaches out of the pool and attempts to grab you. Does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
The water reaches up, slamming into you. You will take 13 reduced to 7 points of bludgeoning damage as the water
Ouch.
wraps itself around you.
Oof.
You are once. Hold on. I gotta redo that damage. I can't see the top because of the half screen, so I rolled the wrong damage dice. The damage you take is actually, no, still 7. It's 14 reduced to half. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are pulled into the water as it begins to engulf you.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Okay. Can I try to? Do I have to break out of this grapple, or can I just attack, or what?
You can attack while you're grappled.
Okay. Is it like it's at disadvantage, I assume, or no?
You are now in the water grappled by it, so you can just roll straight up
Okay.
or with
I
advantage
will.
if you attack
I'll
recklessly.
go ahead and roll. Yeah, attack recklessly. I mean, this is game time, boys. Here we go. That is an 18 to hit the water elemental.
That is a hit.
Sick. Alrighty. And that is 8 points of normal damage and an additional 4 points of cold damage. Come on. Come on.
You feel the water loosening its grip, but not entirely.
Okay. Gonna attack again. That's a 25 to hit him.
Teera, how do you end the water elemental?
Sick. Oh my god. Okay, so here's the attack. So Teera is just kind of like slashing at this thing, like almost on her body, and with one last hit, she feels the blade almost like stick as the water elemental, what is left of it, kind of freezes in about an inch thick layer around her. And as she bursts out of the grapple and away from the elemental, it just goes, and there's shards of ice everywhere.
And you watch as you and Vorn are now both in the water. You can touch. It's only 5 feet deep.
Good.
But for the first time since you've entered this chamber, the water just sort of
Just, like,
and very
still.
quickly starts to go still as the two of you are in the water, and floating nearby is the dead Medusa. Out of the water is the one statue that's chasing after Doc, but Doc keeps hitting it with his fiery ball.
Okay. I think the safest thing I can do is end my turn now. Unless I can I get to the statue and hit him? With my frenzy attack? Or no?
It'll take you.
I don't know
Actually,
exactly how
you
far.
can. You got pulled in right at the edge, so you can climb out
Okay.
and reach the statue and attack it if you want. Yeah.
I can? Okay.
Yeah.
So I will.
Yeah, you never used any movement.
Okay. That's a dirty 20 to hit him.
Yep.
Oh my god. That is 11 points of normal damage and an additional 6 points of cold damage.
Teera,
No freaking way.
with your 5th kill of this
Jesus.
fight, how do you end this encounter?
So I imagine this one, Teera is like sprinting at this thing and would just on the way by with like her full momentum of her body, which she's a big gal, and an additional freaking baseball bat of force behind her blade, would just sear this thing at the waist. And it does that thing that you see in like old like kung fu movies where it like stands for a second and then falls apart, and as it hits the ground it goes and there's like that dry ice fog thing that happens.
And this one, as it shatters, something goes spinning over and clatters against the feet of the Mizya statue. A third obsidian skull. You are out of combat. 3 of you remain. What do you all do?
Teera would just stand there for a minute and then be like, Vorn, and then like run back to the pool and like help Vorn out and up out of the pool of water.
And Vorn tells Teera she was magnificent. And he goes, wait, the skulls. And he's looking in the water for the skulls that dropped in them.
1 is in the water, 2 are on the edge of the pool.
Can I easily spot the one that's in the water?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna easily spot it, and I'm gonna, go grab it.
Yeah.
Then
Go
allow
grab
Teera
the
to
one
help.
that's nearest the pool. And I'm just looking at it.
And I'm gonna look at the smartest person in the room and say, do you have any idea on how to get Mizya and Togo out of being petrified? Doc.
You're muted.
No? Why would I know that?
You know everything.
Any ideas? Not, like...
Well, there are magic spells I don't have access to that might be able to, fix them.
And,
Doc is going to walk over to Mizya
mhm.
and is going to flick them in the arm.
Yep. It's stone.
Okay, then Doc is going to fill up his water skin and he's going to spray it on Mizya.
Yep, it's wet stone.
I would kind of go over to Togo and just sort of like touch the Togo statue and just be like, and then I would look over my shoulder at the Mizya statue and I'd be like, I mean, Vorn and I might be able to drag Mizya as they are out of here, but, and I kind of like look over at Togo, and Togo is gigantic and stone.
Make a investigation check or a perception check.
Everybody?
Okay.
Anybody that's looking at these 2 statues can do so.
I got an 11.
You can do it.
18.
30.
Oh,
Vorn
number that
and
starts with
Doc in
3.
particular, you notice, looking at the two petrified party members, Togo, you notice, looking specifically, you notice as you look between the two of them, that Togo is a very dark stone with a very rough stone texture, having this look of something carved out of solid stone. But when you look at Mizya, Mizya is a lighter stone color. And there's almost a translucence to it, where Mizya is definitely petrified, but it's almost like if you look closely, you can see some of the color of their purple robes through the stone. You get the sense that whatever petrification that Mizya is under is not as permanent and lasting as Togo's petrification. And with a 30, Doc, I would say that this would give you enough information that you feel like anywhere from a few hours to a couple days, Mizya might revert back to normal.
Really?
But Togo is going to require magical intervention.
Do I think that through experimentation I can move the process along?
No.
All right.
There's nothing that would indicate the best chance you would have would involve very high level, powerful magic, such as a wish.
I kind of look over my shoulder as I'm still standing over at Toga, and I'm like, Doc, you can fix him, right? You can bring him.
No. Well, Mizya seems to be less rigid than Togo. Perhaps they will emerge from their chrysalis in the next day or two. But Togo, I'm afraid, is going to be stuck like that for a while, unless we do something about it. There are magics that are available to people who aren't me that can fix Togo. But since I am not them, I'm me, can't really do anything about that at all.
Well, I mean, we can go to Candlekeep, right? That mean, there's powerful magics at Candlekeep.
In theory, yes. But the question is, how are you going to drag Togo's ginormous statue through that winding, barely existent tunnel leading upward?
Well,
really what we need to do is we need to bring them here. Going the other way, I don't think is going to work out so well.
No, we can't. Doc, is time a factor? Do we have to hurry? Is
Oh no, Togo's quite stiff.
I know, but
He'll be fine. I mean, unless somebody takes like a maul to him and a hammer and a chisel, that might be unfortunate. But if he's just standing there, he'll be fine.
And Teera would kind of look at the dead Medusa floating dead body style in this pool, and then just kind of like look at Vorn and look at Mizya as they are, and just kind of like, and Teera would reach into like a spot on her armor that you can't see, and she would pull out the coin of Timora that Togo gave her, and she would kind of like set it like somewhere on Togo, as though Togo is a statue, and kind of like almost pat Togo somewhere and just be like, we'll be back. and then kind of like almost punch Togo and be like, "Don't go anywhere."
And that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh. Wow.
All right.
Ah.
That was an intense first half. We will we're going to go ahead and take about a 10-minute break. After which we'll see if we can get some more exciting Dwight content in the second half.
He's a better man than us.
So yeah, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and we will see you on the other side. And we're back. What would you like to do? You've just left the coin of Timora upon Togo's stone form. You have 3 obsidian skulls, and Togo and Mizya are immovable statues. Mechanically, we figured out during the break that the petrified status increases the weight tenfold of the character.
So Mizya is a professional wrestler right now, and Togo is essentially a Volkswagen. So Teera would look at Doc and look at Vorn and be like, "Well, we have to go. We should probably go quickly."
And are you able to detect magic, Doc?
Yes.
Can you detect magic off of any of these obsidian skulls?
Well, it's going to take me 10 minutes, but give me give me a series of seconds equal to 10 minutes.
That is 600 seconds, Doc.
Yes, that's what I said.
In the meantime, why don't Teera, you and we fashion some ropes, kind of make like a pulley drag system for Mizya, because we're both strong, but she's probably 1,000 pounds, 900 pounds at least.
Oh, that's true, but how... Vorn, I know we are strong, but you remember how we got back down in here? We had to rappel down into that one roof, and there were tunnels, and I think it would be quicker for us to just go and come back, for both of them.
And I look over at Mizya.
I hate it as much as you do, but for both of them, it's better if we're quick.
Okay. All right. I can almost hear Mizya's voice, like saying, "No, you take me." But,
I'm so cool.
And I walk over to the Mizya statue and I say, "We'll come back with mimosas, eh?"
A single tear. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like spinach to Mizya's Popeye.
Mechanically, you can push, pull, or drag 30 times your strength score, which is only half of what Mizya weighs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And that doesn't account for the stairs.
Yeah, no. Or the, like, straight up.
Anything else the two of you are doing during this 10 minutes, or are you just waiting for Doc to ritually cast?
I would probably be
Detect
talking
magic.
to Vorn, and I would just be like, and she would just kind of like put her hand on his chest and just be like, "You almost died."
I did. And I didn't mean to. I mean, and I look at her in her eyes and I didn't mean to. I mean, I didn't.
And she would kind of put her hand on the side of his face, and she would be like, "When we get both these people back to, flesh and blood, we need to sit and talk. I know we haven't talked a lot lately. I've been a little shut off, and you've been so quiet."
Yeah, let's let's not do that again. But And let's definitely talk. Almost dying.
My trip to the Shadowfell without you.
Yeah. We'll catch up.
Teera, Vorn, make a perception check at advantage, please.
Advantage. That's a 19 for me.
Vorn?
That's a power 6 of that first roll. I'm gonna roll another die for the advantage one
Yeah,
because
that's the
I think it's
advantage.
okay, so the other one's a 19 inside the deck.
Oh, we both got a 19. Twinning is winning. Hashtag.
So, the two of you, as you're talking,
A musical number kicks up. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, but
you've noticed since you entered this area that the whole area was illuminated basically from the water. The water seemed to be creating a sort of ethereal glow throughout this chamber. And it had it was much more prominent when the water elemental was present because it was refracting and all the waves and everything. But now that the waves have settled down, as you're talking, you sort of both think it's almost like it's not registering right away. It's like sunlight is reflecting off of the water, creating a brightness in one spot. And then it just suddenly dawns on you both at the same time. Wait a minute, you're underground in the darkness. And you realize there is something at the back of this pool on the bottom that is radiating the light. There is an object.
Teera, what do you think that is?
and Teera kind of squints and looks into the water and just like, well, and she would look over at Doc, who's still ritually casting, and be like, one way to find out, I guess. And yeah, she would kind of make her way down into the water below.
And Vorn's gonna be next to her, and he's gonna say, you know, I wouldn't say I almost died, kind of just unconscious.
Sleeping.
As you're wading through the water, sort of up to your chest, you get to that spot, and do you pick up whatever it is?
Oh yeah, if it's pick-upable.
You reach down, kind of duck under the water, grab hold of this object, and as you do, and you pull it to the surface, the light seems to no longer be magnified by the water. It momentarily, it continues to shed a bit of dim light. But you are holding an exquisite golden hand mirror.
Well, this is nice.
It is
We can probably sell this
unmarred.
for quite a
The
bit.
glass is crystal. The mirror is like just perfectly unblemished silvered glass, and you can see your reflection in it very well.
Yeah, I look at myself. I'm like, I look like dog shit.
The most beautiful dog shit I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you. You are so sweet. And she would like hand it to Vorn actually, and she'd be like, you want to carry this?
Yeah, Vorn's gonna take a look at it. He flips it around on the back. Are there any engravings on the back or anything?
There's no words or anything engraved into it, but it is very decorated with beautiful flower petals and vines and leaves in a very elvish artistic style.
And Vorn is going to wade through the water and kind of talking behind him, Vorn-splaining about how, you know, the origin of Medusa was that she supposedly angered a jealous god who made her like that. And as he's saying that, he's going to walk towards Mizya, and then just curiosity, like hold the mirror up to Mizya's stone features. If anything happens or not.
Ooh.
You see Mizya's stone face reflected in the mirror. But as you sort of finish Vorn-splaining this mythology of the Medusa, two things happen. First, Doc, it's been 10 minutes. As your spell completes, magical light begins to emanate within a 30-foot radius of you. The mirror that Vorn is holding up, in addition to the 5-foot dim light that it's radiating around it, you see it outlined in arcane light, indicating that it is magical. And all three of the obsidian skulls are radiating with trace amounts of necromantic energy, but the stronger magic from them is divination.
Mm-hmm.
With a hint of enchantment.
Mm-hmm.
As well as all the usual magical pings from your various belongings. The second thing that happens, and this is as Vorn has just finished his mythology lesson, you hear a woman's voice say, "That's not very far off from the truth."
Oh. Teera would immediately unsheath her blade again and be like, "What was that? What was that?" And look back at Vorn and be like, "Did you hear that?"
As soon as you draw your blade, you hear, "You've already killed me once today. There's no need to kill me again. I am already dead. I can't be any deader." And a form materializes above the surface of the water.
Oof.
It looks very much like the Medusa, whose body now floats in the water. Except her hair is long and flowing, as if she were suspended underwater. And it's actual hair, it's not snakes. And her features are not lips peeled back from teeth, but very lovely elven features of an elven woman. Her robes seem to also float as if she's suspended in water. She kind of looks down at the body of the Medusa. "As much as I would have liked to have carried on living, I suffered in that form for 10 years. Would you set me free?"
Teera would sheath her blade.
The spectral elven woman floats over towards Vorn, where you are holding the mirror to Mizya. She looks at you for a moment. "It is very admirable what you are attempting to do, but I'm afraid it will have no effect." She was transformed by the stone-cursed statues. They should revert to their normal form by this time tomorrow.
And
None the
Teera
worse
would-
for wear.
Yeah. Teera would nod over at Togo and be like, "What about him?"
I'm afraid your total friend, unless you have the ability to magically restore them, the powers of a cleric or a paladin, I'm afraid they may be in that form forever.
And Teera kind of like the hope leaves her eyes a little bit. It's like, well, we have clerics. We can go back to the surface. We can bring them back here.
Good. That is good.
Yeah.
She turns to Vorn. That was mine. She sort of points towards the mirror in your hand. Just called Radiance. It may be of some use to you, one such as your friend when they are no longer petrified. Though it looks nothing like it, it is actually a wand.
A wand of.
Radiance?
Just a wand, not a wand of.
A wand of. Oh, there are many different kinds of wands.
It is a wand of the War Mage. It has an extra couple of things attached to it. You will have to spend some time with it to learn all of its abilities. I am sorry for what transpired here in this once sanctified shrine. It is my fault that I came to be as you saw me. Again, she floats over and looks at the dead body of the Medusa. I was...
Teera... Oh, sorry,
go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna kind of nod around at the stone, what is left of the stone statues that we fought, and if there's any more that are still standing, be like, were these all people, too?
Once upon a time. But through powerful magic, I converted them into my stone-cursed servants. Go ahead, Vorn, you were going to say something?
And Vorn gestures to the floating body. What would you have us do with that?
I no longer have use of it. It is everything in life that I feared that I was, and that led me to become that very thing. Hideous, disgusting, a vile abomination. I was once a devoted priest of Sune. I used my knowledge to share with others and uplift them, to help them realize their own worth. But I was masking my own self-doubt. I never felt I was enough. I was never worthy enough to be a priest of the god of love and beauty. And about 10 years ago, 3 elven sisters came. They sought rest and relaxation at the Temple of the Restful Lily. They used my insecurities to manipulate me. I believed that they could magically transform me into that which I thought I was not worthy to be. They performed what I later learned was a dark bargain and a terrible curse. They used their magical skills and abilities to paint the most amazing portrait of me, as I wished that I could be. And it boosted my self-esteem. For a year. At the end of that year, the magic wore off. I was transformed into the Medusa. The three sisters, who I now know for what they truly were, coven of hags. They lured me into the shrine and sealed me inside. They held me prisoner here for 10 years, in what was once my home.
Teera would kind of look at Doc and look at Vorn and just be like, they're still up there. And look back at this lady and be like, what would you have us do?
I am no longer for this mortal world. I am barely who I was once before, Silvari Silversong. That name, with every passing moment, holds less and less import to me. But in the last 10 years, I fear for others who may have succumbed to the sisters' alluring magic. Who knows what others have thought they were getting a bargain and have instead become unwitting servants to their magic.
Who are these sisters?
I do not know their true names, but I knew them as Azursa, Morgana, and Greensong, when they portrayed elven women of kind hearts and pure intention.
Teera looks at Vorn and be like, and they have little one up there. And looks at Doc and said, they made them handsome. And after a year or less or something, this is what he has in store. And she nods at the body in the water.
Little one's gonna be a horrific Medusa.
No, that was my fate because of my vanity. I said you were right to a certain extent. It wasn't the goddess Sune who cursed me, it was my own vanity. And the hags who cursed me to be this. Each bargain is different. Therefore, the fate of one who breaks their bargain, or when the year passes and the hags have extracted whatever magic and life force they can, will be different. But it will not be good. The only way to save anyone is to destroy the portrait that was painted of them.
Oh, I was hoping you would say kill the hags.
Oh.
I'm afraid even if you kill them, if the paintings persist, then the curse will persist.
Little one mentioned sitting for a portrait. We could find it. It's sure it's upstairs somewhere.
They will keep it protected. They will keep it close. They have taken over the Temple of the Restful Lily. And they have most likely taken up the tower, which is where I once called my home. They are not here alone. Their servants are everywhere, disguised and masked. It won't be easy.
Teera would look and say, "You said Mizya is probably going to be as they were in a day, or something like."
She again floats over, hovering, feet not touching the floor, in front of the form of Mizya. This ghostly light sort of crossing across Mizya's features, almost making them look as if they're moving their facial features. A ghostly hand reaches out. I knew this elven drow once upon a time.
How?
We were at Silvery Moon together. This is Mizya Helviar.
Anything you can do to make the day a little quicker, or do we just gotta take? So we just all relax here for a day and.
I was your greatest threat here in what remains of the shrine. I will bother you no more. But until, if and when my painting is destroyed, I am doomed to haunt this place. I will bother you not.
I look at Doc and Vorn and I say, I think if we're gonna go upstairs, we could be in for trouble. And I think, and I kind of like look concerned over at Togo, and I would just say, I think it's, as much as I hate it, I think it's better if we wait for Mizya to come out of this and go up with Mizya beside us.
Yeah, and that would give us a chance to talk.
I am truly sorry. And the ghostly form recedes away from Mizya and dips below the surface of the water, though the water itself does not disturb. And then you see a little ripple as the statue the fourth statue, the one that was broken, what remains of the head of this statue floats to the surface, and then you see that this ghost of Silvari is holding it and places it down at the feet of the statue of Mizya. It seems to hover partially, the ghostly form sort of partially embedded in the stone floor, as if they were, up to their waist in water, except they're kind of partially floating through the floor. And their hand reaches out and sort of strokes this halfling face carved in stone. I knew this one too, though not as well as Mizya did. This was their one-time friend and our one-time supervisor at Silvery Moon, Wendry Winkle. I am doomed to forever be haunted by what I did to her. You may wait here, as long as you wish, for Mizya to revert back to their self. as much as I am able if you leave this place. As long as I am tethered to this location, I will protect your stone friend. Those skulls. I created those in the process of making the stone cursed. If you spend an hour's rest with the with an obsidian skull, at the end of that hour, you can attempt to extract its ghostly memories and ask it one question. Whether you succeed or not, the skull will crumble to dust afterwards.
What could they possibly know? They've been down here for ages.
I was going to say, ask it a question about what?
That is for you to decide.
I mean, sure. How do we determine if we're successful or not?
You spend the hour with it. As you attempt, at the end of the hour, to extract a memory from it by asking it a verbal question. If you succeed, the memory will be extracted. The skull will speak it to you. If you fail, you will hear nothing, and the skull will crumble to dust in your hands.
All right, well, we're going to rest here anyway. It seems like something I'm going to do. Also, is there anything else that Detect Magic is picking up? It's just what we expected, right?
Yep, just what you expected.
All right, well, let's rest then.
And
Teera would sort of like tow the skulls over at Doc and be like, help yourself, and kind of just look very uncomfortable at this whole concept.
What is your problem?
I don't want any part of that. It's
I mean, you killed them. It's worse to ask them a question? Strange logic there, Teera.
yeah, well, maybe it's strange, but it's mine, Doc. Killing something is one thing. Sucking out its memories is another. I don't take with all that magic shit.
Don't. Doc sort of looks like he's about to say something, and then he stops.
and yeah, and Vorn is kind of chuckling in the corner and goes, Teera, and he's set up like a I don't know. Maybe he's laying flat on his stomach and he's set up like a little bit of a bed camp or whatever, and he's like, and he has his arm out like, let's wrestle, like arm wrestle, like let's talk.
Mm-hmm. And Teera would kind of like rub her eyes, and she's still kind of coming down off of the rage that was almost several rounds, and would just kind of go and sit crisscross applesauce and be like, let's. And she would just sort of, for the first time, she would just sort of tell Vorn what she experienced when she was in the Shadowfell for that time. And she would just say, I didn't want to have to tell you that I saw my mother, and I didn't want to have to tell you what she was, and that she wanted to make me into that. I've looked for my father and my brother and her for so long. It was quite something to actually find her.
Yeah, the expectations don't always quite match up with the people they are, do they?
You can say that again. No, she's a winter witch. They're evil by nature, and she offered that to me, and I said no, but it would have made saving you a hell of a lot easier, and I wonder if I made the right choice. I mean, what if I had that power and I used it another way?
I can't say, honestly, Teera. And he grabs her hands and gently, cautiously puts one of his hands on her cheek, and he goes, "I couldn't love a winter witch." So you made the right call.
And Teera would smile and be like, but I did get this. And she wouldn't unsheath it all the way, because I would imagine at this point, by this time in the night, we've maybe lit a fire. And that would cause it, fun fact team, to go out if I unsheath my sword around fire. So I would pull it out just a little bit, and it would kind of have that dry ice smoke around it. And be like, and I would kind of look back at Vorn and be like, she does love me.
And that's a kick-ass weapon. And Vorn kind of summons the blade out of the shadow mist and is like, I'm not sure if this is a good thing or not, but it freaking rocks.
And Teera would smile, and it's a genuine smile for the first time in several days. And she would lean in and kiss Vorn, and she would pull back and be like, I'm really, really glad you didn't die.
Not this time. Not this time. Me too. Me too.
And as Vorn rambles, she would kiss him again.
You're welcome.
Shout out, Doc.
So,
Doc.
is your plan to just spend the next 24 hours here in the shrine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
we're gonna go upstairs, guns blazing, we want to go
So-
with magic missile.
You can all
Waking up in
take
Tira's arm the next morning.
a long rest. So gain all the benefits that a long rest would afford you.
Huzzah.
And anything else that you wanted, Doc?
I'm gonna
Anything?
suck the memories out of the skulls.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. All right.
So
Yeah.
basically, you just spend an hour with each skull. You must ask it a verbal question,
Mm-hmm.
and then you will make an Arcana check
Mm-hmm.
to attempt to extract that memory. So the 3 skulls that you have are a drow priestess of Loth, an elven woman, and a human man. You don't know anymore which one belonged to which, but
Sure. Okay. You can do it. And then I will attempt to make an Arcana check on the elven woman. And I am going to use a tome to roll with advantage.
Advantage.
Okay, so that's so Doc's eyes sort of glaze over as he's looking at this skull. And in a flash, he's in a reliquary, and he's surrounded on all sides by walls made of bone. and the bones are all different sizes, clearly from different creatures, and from the darkness, in a direction he can't really tell, it echoes through. He says he hears a deep voice say, "It's about time." I got a 24 Arcana check.
Jesus. Oh.
What secret are you attempting to extract from this?
Where are the portraits hidden?
Nice.
For a moment, the skull stares blankly at you. And then you feel as if it's grown lighter, because you realize it's now begun to hover above your hand. The skull floats up about 6 inches above your hand, and though the jaw doesn't work, you hear a voice in your head. I sat for my portrait in a studio high up in the tower.
Mm-hmm.
There were other paintings on display, and some that were kept behind curtains.
Ooh.
The skull disintegrates into ash.
Okay. Doc is gonna. You can do it. And then he's going to use a tome again. And the priestess of Lol, the drow, I mean. Doc's eyes sort of glaze over again. And he seems to be in a field. And it's a completely moonless night. And it's only the vaguest outline of stars that are illuminating him. And in the distance echoes the howl of a wolf. And Doc sort of turns toward the breeze, and he sniffs twice. That is a 21 Arcana check.
What question do you ask of this?
What is the weakness of the three sisters?
Damn, Gary. Cutting right to the middle of the onion. Way to be.
This skull levitates in your hand like the other. Do you speak Undercommon?
No.
For a moment, the words that come into your mind are a language you don't understand, but it's a harsh and very almost guttural language. But then the words sort of fade away, and you see a memory swirl within the eyes of this skull and sort of play out as if the memory is absorbing into your skull, as if you've experienced this. You're chasing someone through the wooded path, the same wooded path you all came to this place through. You are following a figure. You're not actively like running after them, but you're in pursuit of this figure. And you see the temple darkened ahead of you. But you ignore it and move around to the side of it, to the left, to the west. Coming around, you see the temple. The shrine to Sune. And in the moonlight, silhouetted, you see a figure up at the top. It turns, and for a moment you see moonlight reflected in their eyes, and then they're engulfed in shadow as they lower themselves down into a hole in the roof. You move around to the side, you find the ladder, and you clamber up. You find the ropes tied off, and you climb down them into the open space. You can see clearly with inherent dark vision. You speak these words in undercommon, but laced with arcane magic. You see, amidst the broken shards of mirror and the debris on the floor, you see a ghostly light outlining footsteps, leading around behind the statue and downstairs. You descend down the stairs. As you come around the corner into a room with an illuminated pool, you see your prey standing there, gazing towards a space above the pool. You step forward and you place your hand out as you have them finally, the words of a spell already on your lips. You realize that the halfling woman you've been chasing has been turned to stone. You hear a sound behind you and you turn. And that is the last thing you remember. This memory shows no indication of having interacted with the sisters, but this drow priestess was chasing Wendry Winkle. And both of their fates ended here, in this place.
Okay. So the last skull, you can do it.
It's funny every time.
I will roll with advantage. And you know what? That time I'm not going to use my feature because that is 25.
Okay. And what do you ask of this human man?
So, before I suggest it, the ghost said that the three sisters were hags.
Yes.
And what else did she say about, like, how they... Did she say anything about... Okay, never mind. So the last question is how do we restore the balance of this place?
Good question. I feel like we're on Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer. Good question, Gary. Good question.
The skull, again, this third and final skull floats above your hand, and you see a memory. Again, flooding into your own subconscious. And you are speaking with another human. A man, looks to be in his 40s, long sandy blonde hair that looks very clean and very washed, as he is wearing a the familiar linens of the Temple of the Restful Lily. And he looks as though he has been partaking of the services here. Very clean and fresh, freshly manicured. And he looks towards you and he says, I don't know what your hurry is. We know where they are. Why not enjoy a few of the amenities while we can? You know, if we take care of this problem and we head back right now, they're just going to send us off on another one. You lean in. It took months to figure out that they were here. Been tracking the Defeated Gaze for half a decade. This is the first real lead. They fit the descriptions. Like I said, we know what they look like. We know which ones they are. Just get yourself a massage. Go into the pool, into the sauna. There is a dyad that lives back there, and she is very generous with the patrons, if you catch my meaning. Listen! We don't have time for this. And the memory sort of shifts a little bit, and you see that both of these men are standing atop the shrine, and I'm suddenly realizing I've completely forgotten what the actual question you asked was.
How do we restore the balance
Okay.
of this place?
I got too into my own thing, and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot what the question
I'm
was.
sorry, could you repeat the question?
Anyway, these two men are standing atop the shrine by the hole leading in, and the sandy blonde haired man looks and says, all we have to do is deal with whatever it is that's down here. We get on their good side, and then we get rid of them. Once that's done, we can find this Silvari Silversong person, and everything will go back to normal. And if she's never found, finders keepers. This whole place could be ours. You look up at him. There is some truth to what you say. All right. When this is over, we are dealing with the Defeated Gaze. Of course, of course. All right. I will hold the rope for you. You begin to descend the rope, and you watch as you're lowering yourself down, and you see your friend above holding the rope, helping to lower you down. And then you see the flash of silver as he pulls out his dagger and cuts the rope. And you fall 20 feet. The rest of the memory is making your way down, and much the others did. And finding yourself in the pool. And the last thing you see and hear is the hissing of snakes. And those piercing eyes. And you are turned to stone, and
Wow.
So have we heard that name before? Silvari Silversong, you said?
Yeah.
yes, many times. It's the
That's
ghost.
That was the ghost. She got turned into Medusa.
She was also the author of the book, The Price of Beauty.
Right. Okay.
And she was somebody that Mizya knew from their time at Silvery Moon.
Okay. So somehow she's key to restoring the balance. Okay. So the second memory, the halfling Wendy, whatever her
Wendry
name is,
Winkle.
Wendry Winkle, was looking at the ceiling above the pool. So Doc will very much like to investigate that sort of area. He's going to look up there, and then he's going to say, "You can do it." And then, oh God, okay.
Meanwhile, Vorn and Teera are sleeping, very closely entwined together, and Doc is just walking. I imagine like very close to their sleeping forms.
Yeah, Doc is
Walking around.
Doc is just solving the mystery while they're fucking asleep.
We're sleeping. We are sleeping hard.
I'm finishing the module while everybody else is
Listen,
unconscious or sleeping.
Rage really takes it out of you.
Nobody's doing as much work as Dwight is though this session.
So that's
heavy lifting.
That's a 32 investigation.
All right. You see that it's the same place that you saw the arrow shoot from that destroyed the mirror, that there's this sort of alcove up above. And with a little bit of with that investigation, I would say you can find the handholds that sort of lead you in to up into where that alcove is.
Okay.
And you find that the alcove is seems to just be a natural shelf within the rock up above this pool area that goes back quite a ways. And it seems that though the Medusa may have spent time down in the corner where Vorn and Teera now sleep, she also spent time up here. And there are remnants of bits of clothing and armor and other things that are in this area. I would like you to roll me. Find it here. I think this is this is what I want. 6. Roll me a d10.
Okay. I think the first thing that Doc would like to do, unless this happens sort of immediately as he gets up there.
This is literally just what you find with your
I see.
investigation check.
Okay, 9.
You find a scattering a scattering of coins that have been separated away from all of the like clothing and stuff. You find 50 gold pieces and 240 silver pieces.
Ooh.
Somebody write that down.
50 gold, 240 silver. Got it.
You also find a small hammer and chisel.
Okay.
And pieces of a shattered sword. One of the pouches has 10 candles in it.
Okay.
I like to imagine that because Doc is an artificer, he sees all the junk and he's like, but he sees the gold and silver and it's just like worthless.
All right, and then I need one more D10 roll.
1.
There is a of all the clothing, there is a really nice cloak with silver thread that is worth 250 gold pieces.
Okay.
there is a very fine porcelain cup adorned with gold and a griffin in relief. Also worth 250 gold.
Wow.
There are 2 potions of healing. And there are 2 spell scrolls.
Do I recognize what the spell scrolls are?
You do. One, they're both common spell scrolls.
Okay.
One is a spell scroll of resistance, and one is of burning hands.
Okay.
Everything else is rotted leather and cloth, and you find in one bag, you tip it over. You can only guess that it may have been a rations pouch from the. Well, there's no like rotted food in it, but there is the desiccated corpse of 2 dead mice that fall out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Doc is going to cast Detect Magic up here, just to make sure he doesn't miss anything.
This track always reminds me of The Shining, and I love it. It's creepy, and I love it.
Yeah, you cast your Detect Magic. Go ahead and roll a D6 and a D10.
4 on the D10 and 6 on the D6.
You find in the where did it go? Here it is. You find in amongst all of the old, almost rotted clothing, there's what looks to be almost like a leather duster jacket, very long. The leather is just in bad shape, cracked and rotting. Some of it looks like it was lying in a puddle for who knows how many years. And as you sort of pick it up to move it, a big piece of leather sort of falls away, and you can see that the lining of this jacket is very much not rotted. It has a very deep blue appearance to it, with very fine silver embroidery all around that looks like stars. And there are brighter sections of stars on it that almost look as if you could reach within the depths of this space scene and grab. Because you can. You found a robe of stars.
Oh. Okay.
That is bitchin'. That is so cool.
Okay, great. So Doc will snag that, and then he's gonna talk to Silvari. I feel like I'm monopolizing this thing while everybody's sleeping.
Oh, well.
I'm gonna have the Silvari
investigation.
conversation. I'm gonna hold off on that
Okay.
because there's something else that is going to happen.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Mizya,
Yes.
for 24 hours, you are frozen in stasis. You have no sight or hearing of the world around you. As you feel yourself re-enter the world around you, what is it that you saw, felt, or remembered that has terrified you to the point of screaming as you come to?
This entire time that I have been petrified, I have the only sense that I have been able to keep a hold of is that feeling that I had in the woods when I came up out of the Underdark. That first night when I was surrounded by the eyes of predators in the dark, in the woods that I'd never been in before. And that feeling and that sensation is what stayed with me this entire time.
So a 24-hour panic attack, basically.
Wow.
You all hear Mizya scream out as they suddenly... You hear the sound of rubble clattering around down to the ground as this outer shell of stone cracks. And anybody looking over in Mizya's direction, you see Mizya wide-eyed and feral in the corner, looking around in fear at what surrounds them. And that's where we're going to end this session.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Made Dwight stay here for 2.5 hours for that one scene.
Wow. It was poignant. If it makes you feel better, Dwight, it was meaningful.
So, Gary, you will have 2 weeks to figure out what you want to ask Silvari. We will not be having any MTD games next week. MTD is going on hiatus for 1 week, mostly because I will be out of town. But we will return with our Candlekeep mysteries on the it's October 3rd, I believe.
Correct.
And then followed by Descent into Avernus. However, this week we still have Descent into Avernus Part 2 of Damnation, our 2-part premiere at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/mini-terrain domain. Thursday, it will be another session of the Dawnbringers. And Saturday, what's going on, Gary?
Oh, Strahd sucks. We are doing a charity one-shot for Quest for the Cure. If you raise $1,000, I will wax my mustache live, and I know you all want to see that.
Yes.
And that will be a game that I am DMing, and the cast of players in that game is absolutely amazing. So I'm very much looking forward to this game and seeing what we can raise towards. I feel like we're going to be able to raise enough money that if Gary had 2 mustaches, he'd have to wax them both.
Yeah, no, that
we're gonna
$1,000
try.
is
We're gonna try.
be surpassed. I guarantee it.
So do not miss that. I hope to see you all there. In just a moment, we're going to send a raid over to. We're going to send a raid over to Dead Aussie Gamer, one of our Australian friends, who is streaming right now. In the meantime, thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you for all of the bits and subs and the gift subs and all that support for Domain Tomes. We greatly appreciate that as well. If you are somebody that likes to lurk in the chat and you don't necessarily speak up or anything, thank you. We appreciate you all the same. We hope you enjoy our games. And of course, a huge thank you, as always, to these amazing players. Gary, Cari, Dwight, and Ricky. And though they weren't with us physically, well, they were kind of physically with us. Togo was frozen in time as a statue.
In spirit and with the toes.
And Em was with us in the chat. Without whom, without these players, it would just be me talking to myself for a couple of hours. With that, as I tee up this raid, we are going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want. Metadata.